Do you find yourself feeling irritated, drained, or unable to tolerate people you once enjoyed after a spiritual awakening? You stare at your phone, dreading another call. You feel a visceral exhaustion at the thought of a family gathering. The chatter that was once background noise now feels like an assault on your peace. And this troubles you deeply, because you were told awakening meant becoming more loving, more compassionate. Instead, you find yourself withdrawing, questioning. Have I become arrogant? Is this spiritual pride? Stay with me. What you're experiencing is not a failure. It is a necessary, inevitable milestone. By the end of this, you'll understand why this happens, how to navigate it without guilt, and how this very discomfort is a signpost on your authentic path. For most of your life, you lived inside a shared dream, a collective story about what matters: success, status, security, pleasure. In this dream, relationships were built on mutual agreement. You bonded over shared complaints about work, life's unfairness. You found connection in the latest drama, in gossip, in comparing your struggles. You built camaraderie chasing the same goals. It was a dance. Everyone knew the steps. The music was familiar, the rhythm of complaint, the melody of ambition, the harmony of shared illusion. And because you were all hearing the same rhythm, socializing felt effortless. You were speaking the same native language of the dream. Then you began to wake up. The music starts to sound off-key. The dance steps seem meaningless, robotic. You start to see the machinery behind the dream. You see clearly that the frantic pursuit of status is a hamster wheel that never stops. You recognize the cyclical, self-created nature of personal dramas, how people become addicted to their own suffering. You perceive the unconscious, almost mechanical patterns driving most conversations. The need to impress, to complain, to win validation, to be seen as right. Here is where most people get confused. You think this new clarity is a problem. It's not. It's liberation in its raw, uncomfortable form. It's like watching a play from backstage. You see the actors sweating under their makeup. You see the sets wobble. You read from the script. And once you've seen the scaffolding, you can never fully lose yourself in the performance again. The illusion has been pierced. The spell is broken. Now, when you interact with someone still fully immersed in the play, a profound dissonance arises. They are speaking a language you are forgetting. They are asking you to care about plot twists you know are fabricated. They want you to react to stage thunder as if it's a real storm. Every single interaction requires what I call an emotional translation. You must consciously downshift your awareness to meet them in a place you no longer inhabit. You are expected to invest mental and emotional energy in conversations that feel holographic. They have shape and color but no substance, no nourishment. This constant translation effort is what drains you. It's not the person, it's the exhausting act of pretending the dream is still real. There's another layer, deeper than language, the matter of presence. Before awakening, you likely didn't notice how rarely people are actually here. Most communication isn't between two beings, it's between two mental projections. You speak not to their essential presence, but to their idea of themselves, their story of who they are, their carefully curated bundle of worries, plans, regrets, and fantasies about the future. As you awaken, you touch moments of true presence. You experience the profound silence within yourself. You feel what it's like to simply be, without narrative, without the constant commentary of the mind. You might find this in nature, in meditation, or in rare moments of genuine connection. And once you've tasted that authentic meeting, first with yourself, then potentially with another, everything else begins to feel like a poor imitation. It's the difference between drinking from a clear, cold mountain spring and sipping from a plastic bottle of artificially sweetened, chemical-tasting water. One nourishes you at a cellular level, quenches a thirst you didn't even know you had. The other merely tricks your senses for a moment, leaving you thirstier than before. Furthermore, your sensitivity to energy sharpens to a degree that can be startling. Previously, you were likely an unconscious participant in energetic exchanges. You'd absorb a colleague's anxiety before a meeting. You'd get hooked into a friend's anger cycle. You'd feel emotionally depleted after listening to a family member's litany of problems without realizing you were being energetically drained. Now, you can feel it. You feel the subtle pull of someone's emotional vortex as they start venting. You sense when a conversation is not a mutual exchange, but an extraction, where someone is subconsciously feeding off your attention, your empathy, your calm stability. It's not evil, it's often deeply unconscious. But once you're aware of it, you instinctively protect your inner space. You establish boundaries, and that means withdrawing from interactions that now feel like a violation of your newly discovered sanctuary. This is the critical distinction almost everyone misses, and it's the source of so much guilt. This protective withdrawal is not judgment. It is not hatred. You can hold immense, boundless compassion for someone lost in their own storm of suffering, while simultaneously choosing not to step into the storm with them. Think of it this way. If you've just recovered from a serious, contagious illness, you feel deep compassion for those still sick. You wish them healing. You may even show them where the medicine is. But true compassion does not demand that you infect yourself to prove you care. You maintain your hard-won health, and from that place of strength and clarity you can be truly helpful. From weakness and entanglement you cannot, but we must be brutally honest. This phase can also activate your shadow. That sharp irritation you feel toward another person can sometimes be a mirror. It can reflect a part of yourself that you have not yet fully made peace with, a pattern you still carry. That impulse to judge, to feel secretly superior, to roll your eyes internally at their spiritual immaturity, that is often your own unintegrated ego, cleverly disguised as wisdom. It's the part of you that wants the awakening to be an achievement, a status. It's the part that hasn't yet fully surrendered. When you feel contempt, let that be your most valuable cue. Turn the gaze inward. Ask with gentle curiosity, where in me does this same pattern still live? When have I acted from this same place of unconsciousness? This inquiry doesn't blame you, it liberates you. It transforms irritation into integration. Yet even after doing this necessary shadow work, a legitimate, fundamental incompatibility remains. Genuine connection requires two people to meet, to some degree, in reality. It requires mutual presence. You cannot have a deep, soul-level exchange with someone who is entirely a ghost, a constellation of past memories, future anxieties, and present distractions. You can have a functional, social-level interaction. You can tip LK about the weather, work, or current events. But it will lack the resonance, the depth, the quiet, wordless recognition that characterizes a meeting of two conscious beings. This is why the old relationships begin to starve you. You've been to the feast of real connection. You've tasted the nourishment of being truly seen and truly seeing. Now you're being asked, meal after meal, to survive on crumbs of pleasantry and superficial gossip. It's not just unsatisfying. Over time, it can become a quiet kind of agony, a deep loneliness felt even in a crowd. Your fundamental interests and values undergo a seismic shift. The hobbies, goals, and topics that once animated you lose their shine, their meaning. If your friendship with someone was built primarily on sharing those old interests, talking about the same TV shows, venting about the same office politics, chasing the same social milestones, then the very foundation of that relationship dissolves. You cannot fake a passion that has evaporated. You cannot force yourself to care about a game whose rules you now see are arbitrary, whose prizes are empty. This explains the powerful, non-negotiable pull towards solitude during genuine awakening. This isn't misanthropy. It's not a hatred of people. It is the necessary, intelligent withdrawal of a caterpillar into the chrysalis. The old form of socializing, the old form of you that participated in it, is breaking down. The new form, the way of relating from presence and authenticity, isn't yet fully crystallized. You are between worlds. You are a bridge being built, and you cannot live on either shore. This solitary period is not a luxury. It is essential. It's the time you need to let the old conditioned self fall away without the constant pressure to perform it for others. It's where you learn, often for the first time, to be at home in your own silence, to hear your own truth without the static of others' expectations, opinions, and desires for you. You are building your inner citadel, a center of gravity that is yours alone. and you cannot construct that in a crowded, noisy marketplace. Here is what nobody tells you about this solitude. It is where you forge the only relationship that guarantees never to abandon you, the relationship with your own conscious presence. But please understand, you are not doomed to permanent isolation. This is a phase, not a fate. As you stabilize in this new awareness, something beautiful and subtle begins to happen. You develop what can only be called a spiritual immune system. Your center becomes more established, more rooted. You can be around unconscious behavior without being pulled into its frequency. You can observe family drama without the urge to either join the fray or loudly condemn it. You become like a deep-rooted tree in a storm. The leaves may rustle, the branches may sway, but the core remains unshaken, connected to something deep and stable below the surface. The winds of other people's chaos blow, but they no longer uproot you. From this grounded place, you may find you begin to appreciate people in a new, more nuanced way. You can enjoy the inherent sweetness in someone, even if they are largely asleep. You can listen to their stories not as factual truth to be debated, but as poetry, a poignant expression of their unique inner world, their fears and their hopes. Your compassion changes. It becomes quieter, more spacious, less desperate. It is free from the urgent need to fix, change, or rescue them. And then, almost imperceptibly, a shift occurs in your external world. You stop looking for your people, and you start recognizing them. It happens in a glance held a moment too long that communicates a universe of understanding without a word. It happens in a conversation that effortlessly bypasses the superficial and touches something real, something true. It happens when you meet someone and feel no pressure to perform, to mask, to manage impressions, and you realize they aren't doing that either. These connections feel less like making a friend and more like recognizing a fellow traveler. There is an ease, a naturalness. Conversations have gaps of comfortable silence. There is no energy drain, only mutual replenishment. These connections are rare. They are worth the entire lonely transition. One such relationship, built on the solid ground of present moment awareness, contains more nourishment, more truth, than a lifetime of transactional friendships. It confirms a profound revelation. You were never rejecting people. You were making sacred space for the real. But the path to that point often requires crossing a desert of solitude. And in that desert, doubt will whisper to you. It will tell you that you've broken your life, that you've become dysfunctional, cold, weird. You will scroll through social media and see groups of friends laughing and feel a sharp pang of longing for that simpler, unconscious camaraderie. In these moments, hold on to this truth. The caterpillar does not mourn the loss of its countless legs when it becomes a butterfly. It gains the sky. Your old social world was built for the person you were. Its loss is not a tragedy. It is the clearest possible evidence of a profound metamorphosis in progress. So how do you practically live in this uncomfortable in-between space? Let's move from understanding to integration. First, grant yourself unconditional permission to retreat. Your peace is not a luxury. It is the foundational ground of your new consciousness. It is the soil from which everything genuine will grow. Decline invitations without guilt. Create vast, unscheduled swathes of time where you demand nothing of yourself but to be. This is not antisocial. It is pro your new reality. It is the most responsible thing you can do for yourself and ultimately for others. Second, practice discernment, not judgment. Learn to feel the difference. Discernment is a gentle, inward knowing. It is a somatic feeling. It says, this interaction depletes my energy, or my body contracts when I think of that commitment. Judgment is a harsh, outward story. It says this person is toxic and shallow. Judgment labels and condemns. Discernment simply senses and protects. Focus on your internal resonance, the feeling in your body, not on mentally labeling others. Third, when you are with others, practice being the silent, steady witness. This is a practical skill. You don't need to fix, advise, or absorb. Your primary task is to remain present within yourself. Listen not just to the content of the drama, my boss said this, my partner did that, but to the being behind it. Hear the loneliness, the fear, the longing for love that speaks through the words. This kind of listening from your citadel is your greatest gift and your strongest protection. It allows you to be compassionate without being consumed. It begins with honoring your own energy like a sacred trust. That feeling of dread before an event is not a character flaw, it is crucial information. Setting a boundary is then an act of integrity, not rejection. You are simply stating, through your actions, this is the atmosphere I require to remain conscious and compassionate. When you do choose to engage, consciously shift your objective. Let the goal be to remain anchored in your own presence. Before walking into a gathering, take a moment to feel your feet on the ground, your breath moving in and out. Let that be your ho, me base. During a conversation, if you feel yourself being hooked, the urge to give unsolicited advice rising, or the old habit of absorbing anxiety kicking in, pause internally. Feel your feet again. Take one silent, conscious breath. This breath is a boundary. It silently says, I am here, you are there, I can care for you without carrying your burden. This ability to be present without absorption is the very foundation of true compassion. It is a love that sees clearly, not a love that drowns with you. Now, take an honest inventory. Look at the relationships you are maintaining out of sheer obligation or guilt. Ask with kindness, does this connection require me to abandon myself? To pretend to be someone I'm not? To shrink back into an old version of me? Some relationships may simply need a pause, a season of space while you solidify your new footing. Send them love, but take the space. Others may have been built entirely on the shared dream you've left behind. With that dream gone, the bridge between you has naturally dissolved. Letting go is not a failure of love. It is the respectful acknowledgement of two journeys that have honorably diverged. You can bless them and release them. This is where patience becomes your most vital, actively practiced virtue. The loneliness is real. The human nervous system is wired for connection. This interim period can feel like a starvation. But reframe it, this is a purposeful fast. You are clearing the palate of the old, bland flave. Pause so that you can truly taste the exquisite, nourishing depth of real connection when it arrives. During this time, your relationship with solitude deepens from a retreat into a rich, inner civilization. You discover that the silence you once feared is not empty. It is vibrant, alive, intelligent. It is where you meet yourself beyond all borrowed stories and performed roles. This relationship with your own conscious presence is the one that makes all other genuine relationships possible. And then you'll notice it. You'll stop seeking and start recognizing. A new social ecology will begin to form around you, not through force, but through resonance. It may be smaller, but its depth and truth will make its size irrelevant. You will find you can move with grace between worlds, able to engage in the conventional dance when needed, but always able to return, unscathed, to your center. From this stable place, a new, quieter tenderness for those still asleep may arise. You see their suffering not as a personal annoyance, but as part of the universal human condition. Your compassion becomes a silent internal offering, a wish for their awakening, released into the space between you without any need for them to change to make you more comfortable. This is the integration. The phase of intense irritation and withdrawal was not the destination. It was the tumultuous, necessary passage. The destination is a grounded, compassionate embodiment. You are in the world, but not of its ants. You can connect with all kinds of people, but you are nourished only by connections of mutual truth. So if you are in the midst of the dislike, the solitude, the guilt, let this be your anchor. You are not moving away from love. You are moving toward a far more mature, powerful, and resilient form of it. A love that is clear-eyed. A love that includes yourself. A love that finally understands that sacrifice is not sanctity, and that you cannot give from an empty cup. Your journey is valid. This loneliness is a sacred passage. The irritation is a signpost, pointing you inward to your own unfinished work, outward toward your true tribe. Walk this path with gentle courage. Trust the profound intelligence of your own awakening. It is dismantling everything false, everything inauthentic, to make room for what is real. It is dissolving the crowded, noisy room of your old life, so you can finally hear the whisper, the one true constant voice that has been calling you home all along. And when you hear that voice clearly within yourself, you will find its echo in the eyes of another who has done the same work. And in that moment of mutual recognition, you will know, with a certainty that needs no explanation, that every single step of the lonely walk was worth it.